In this video, I'm going to be showing you 16 new map changes in Ark Scorched Earth Ascended. First off, we have this little mountain area that is near the blue obelisk. Before, it was completely flat, as you can see right here, but since they changed it, they added these huge archways over it, and it's looking absolutely dope. And inside is kind of like a cove oasis area, which I'll show in a second. First, I'll do like an overhead view, as you can see right here. Super flat before, and now there's just so much more life in there, and it looks absolutely awesome. And if you go in here, you can see there's a big pool of water, and there's kind of like a big cave entrance. It's not like an actual cave, but it kind of just like is a little cave that you can go into, a little cove area. It's really cool looking. Next, we have the Coliseum, one of the most iconic buildings on Scorched Earth. Has had a bit of a glow up, and it has changed quite a bit. It is way taller now, as you can see, and looks way better. And looking at it from a top view, as you can see, it's kind of an oval shape in this one, but they actually changed it to a like perfectly circular shape, as well as the dunes that like come inside of it, and you got more room in there. Also, the buildings have been changed. Before, it was kind of surrounded with buildings, but now there's this one like big city that's arched off, which is actually pretty cool. You could actually build inside of here, because you can now build inside of the buildings, which I'll show in a second. This area back here, also, it was kind of just like just covered in sand before, and now is way better, because it kind of like goes up this hill in the mountain and like goes up the walls and stuff, and it looks really cool. As you can see, you can go inside of the buildings now in Scorched Earth as well, which I absolutely love. Before, you couldn't go inside of any of them. You can now build in pretty much all of these ruins, and there's so much ruins that you can actually take advantage of and build in. But then after that, we have this area here, which is just the side of a mountain, literally right next to Red Oblisk, and it has got a huge makeover, and it has this huge city area. This is one of the coolest ruins in my opinion. It might be one of my favorite ruin additions. There's just a ton of buildings added on this cliffside, and it looks absolutely great. But before, I mean, like, there's nothing here at all. It was kind of hard for me to figure out even where it was, because it's just such a random area, but it's actually where that cave was that had a bunch of crystal in it. You can go there. The cave isn't there anymore, I don't think. It's just like a tunnel that goes to the other side of the mountain. Next is a new cave. I'll show the coordinates here, but it's in the Wyvern Trench, and it's a pretty cool cave. People are calling it like the lava cave, but it's got a bunch of lava at the start, but actually there's some water at the back of it. But it looks a lot like the Wyvern Trench, just made into a giant cave with all these like really cool hexagon pillar things. It looks absolutely dope. The new Unreal Engine 5 in here, it just looks absolutely phenomenal, and this cave is really cool. And then we have Blue Obelisk, which has been completely changed. It is now like a giant oasis area. It literally feels more like a jungle, which is really weird for Scorched Earth. It's a completely weird vibe. And I'll show a clip of just me walking through here, and you can see it's nothing like I've ever seen on Scorched Earth. It's weird seeing like jungle looking area or oasis looking area. But the changes are absolutely huge. There's just a huge forest area here with tons of water and all kinds of stuff here. And then the new addition is the new ruins added. So on this cliff here, there wasn't really much other than this small little ruin. But there's been a huge building added. It's not too huge, but this one's really cool because you can build inside of it, just like all the other ones. But you can actually place stuff on the floor, I've heard, which is a really nice touch. So if you wanted to, you could basically make this your base and build inside of it, and not even have to place foundations or anything, as well as it has the whole entrance, so maybe you could fly flyers in and out. And it's got that huge staircase too, so overall, I mean, it could be a really cool base location. It is one of the biggest like ruins that you can actually go inside of and probably like make your base and have a bunch of room, so that's pretty dope. After that, we have the river system, or all around the entire map. I'll kind of just fly through here quickly and then show a before and after, but there's basically way more water in this like big canyon area across the entire map. Before, it was really dried up, and now there's a ton of water. I'm not sure how I feel about this, because I liked it being like hard to get water, because that's kind of the point of Scorched Earth. And now if you go to this area, it's super easy because there's a giant river here. But whatever, it does look pretty cool, and it goes across the entire area. And places that were extremely dry, like this area here, is completely empty. It was really flat, nothing there, and now it's just full of this like water area, and there's just like huge ponds there and stuff. It's really weird and looks completely different. Definitely have to let me know what you think of these changes to the river system in Scorched Earth, because it's quite a big change. But then we have this area here in the canyon area. Before, there's not really anything here. There were some cool arches around it, but they have a huge arch coming in the middle here with a huge support beam coming up. And is the top view as well, you can see not really much here. And then now there's a huge area supporting it, so you can walk through there, even build a cool base there. That would actually be a really dope base spot. And then you could see from the ground level there, same thing. And there's actually looks really cool under here. It's like a little cove, and it looks pretty dope underground. And then we have the church ruins, or one of the caves, the church cave. This one has basically just changed the like area where the buildings are. Also, the church looks completely different. It doesn't have the dome on the top, which I'm not sure how I feel about them removing the dome because it looked kind of cool. But you can go in all these buildings as well, and they are pretty cool. Also, the church is at the back of the city instead of the front, so that is another change to this area. This new ruin area, I'll show the coordinates right here. But this one might be one of my favorites. It's just really cool. It's not the biggest ruin ever, but I think it's a really unique and cool. But you'll see it right here. Basically, before it was just a flat cliff looking out into the dunes, and now you've got this huge area right underneath the cliff. It literally goes under, like dips under, and is like kind of like a cave. And you go in here and there's like a bunch of ruined buildings. There's all across the walls, and there's like this little pit down here as well you can go into. Not really sure what you can do down here, but you could actually make a really cool base. I was thinking about making my base here. I don't know, I might end up doing that because this is a really cool spot. This is a smaller one, or I guess couldn't be considered a huge change, but this is one of the mountains like in the center of the map at like 45 I think. But there's like this huge like arches at the top of the mountain, and I thought it was quite a bit of notice. I noticed it like immediately when I flew past, so I thought I would include it in this video. But it is quite a bit of a change. Then this area here, as you can see, there wasn't really much here at all. It's just a flat desert area, but now it has like a huge archways going over it, like kind of like interlocking and connecting. And it's a really cool area and really fun to explore around. Then we have this mountainside here that's like right next to the giant canyon area. This one has a huge archway as well. It kind of like peeks out and like juts out from the side, as you can see right there, and it has that one big pillar coming down, and it makes like a really like cool overhang area. And you can go inside of it. As you can see, it's really big and tall, and it's really fun to explore the inside of this place. Next is this random like dune area in the middle. I actually kind of like this place. It's kind of cool just having like mixing up the terrain, but they changed it to now like this flatter area that's got a bunch of trees. It's like a completely different biome than any of the other scorched earth biomes. This is what it looked like before on the ground, and now as you can see, it's got all this shrubbery and a bunch of Joshua trees and stuff like that. And then we have the outside of the map. If you look, before there were mountains, and now it's just dunes. I think the dunes looks a lot better because it kind of like slopes up as it goes out and makes like these mountains of dunes, and it looks really cool in the background. I think it looks a lot better than just the random mountains they had before. And finally, 16, we have the new Oasis Cave. This is right next to Red Obelisk. This was it before, and this is what it looks like now. Before, you couldn't go in there, but now you can actually swim down in here. You have to go swimming quite deep, and once you do, you'll get into the Oasis Cave. Just a giant cave with all these huge blue crystals. This blue crystal area is really cool. I really like this. But it's also got a bunch of foliage inside, which is why it's called the Oasis Cave. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye.